Go Catch a Goose. Chapter 11. Shoto Todoroki is Japan's sexiest hero. He's a phenomenon online, fans sharing pictures snapped in public and engaging in deep discussions of his inspirational messages in the comments. The second most popular video of Shoto features a 30-minute interview in which he discusses his childhood and his father. Yes, former number one hero Endeavor, whose reputation was mud long before Shoto told his story. Endeavor made Shoto's childhood a living hell. Burning resentment for his father fueled Shoto's early growth and pushed him far ahead of his peers. However, running on hatred and spite came at a cost. It was as if every time he reached for a glass of water, he stirred in 2 drops of gasoline for an extra burn, and having motivated himself in such a way his whole life, never knew he was sick. A bitter coding to life, social isolation, intolerance of other people, and an inevitable gap in the bridge between incredible potential and realized talent in the field. Then, at UA, Shoto made friends for the first time. He learned he generally enjoyed helping people and looked forward to invitations to get takoyaki or gelato. Courtesy of Momo, he even collected a few trinkets that, previously, he would have irritably discarded as useless clutter. A miniature Japanese rock garden now occupied a spot on his dresser, where he occasionally rearranged the pebbles and tidied the sand patterns with its tiny rake. As for his father, some actions exceeded the capacity for forgiveness, but Shoto pushed his hatred into a corner where it no longer controlled him. If he let himself forget that Endeavor existed, the things he enjoyed and the people he cared about offered him a much better life. The most popular video, by 100-fold if accounting for the various versions, involved a physical altercation. Shoto had been in a crowded mall on a Sunday when he unexpectedly encountered 5 thugs extorting an elderly man at an ATM. Threats were made, and a fight ensued. A counterattack vaporized Shoto's ice, so he went in with fire. All 5 suspects were on the ground within 6 seconds. But Shoto had been out shopping with his sister, not in his proper gear, and burned his shirt off. His pants were also heavily damaged, though at least his underwear was 100% flame-resistant polyester. Among abundant onlookers armed with cell phone cameras, the incident had gone viral by the end of the day. It happened only 2 weeks before UA's graduation. After his shopping trip, Shoto returned to the dorm to find Bakugo had brought his laptop downstairs and attracted a small crowd. Between laughs that had him bent over struggling to breathe, Bakugo read the comments out loud. OMG, he is gorgeous. Is this a man or an angel? Or, I could play guitar on those abs. And Sero, looking over his shoulder, said, What about my abs? I've got abs. Gotta have the face to go with it, said Bakugo. On the days leading up to graduation, Shoto watched a gif of a drop of sweat running down his back. He was tagged in tweets comparing his body to a Greek god. He stumbled upon an internet community that wanted to marry his scar. Shoto could somehow understand fans thinking they wanted to marry him, but was unsettled by the concept of marrying off one of his body parts. Why the scar? If they were set on chopping him up and picking pieces, he figured they'd marry something more useful than damaged skin. The next time Shoto went to the bathroom, he found himself re-examining his reflection in the mirror. Was the newfound attention a big deal? Or would it blow over? Had there been some sort of mistake? With the scar over his left eye, he never thought himself attractive, though maybe with enough time to heal, it appeared less of an injury and more like discoloration of the skin. The internet said, It's the fire burning in Shoto, trying to escape. A strange thought occurred to him. Was he actually hot? Fast forward 2.5 years. It's been an adjustment, a career where throngs of enthusiastic young women, and often their mothers, line up to shake Shoto's hand is beyond anything he could have imagined. Merchandise sales are huge, even with the strict standards he's enforced on what is released. No erotic body pillows, no pin-up posters so heavily photoshopped with hearts and sparkles that Shoto barely recognizes his own face. At least, this is the case with official merchandise. Controlling what fans did with the literal millions of photos of him online is as easy as convincing 10-year-old boys that he doesn't have cooties. Above the admiration of his abilities, physique, and the occasional poem about his soft hair and striking heterochromatic eyes, Shoto hears stories of how he's changed the lives of people he's never met. At least once a week, A little girl runs up to him and hugs him on the street. They say he's inspiring. In hearing as much from so many people, Shoto feels compelled to be the best hero he can be. He has a solid image of the person he wants to be. Heroes were needed to encourage and protect people who couldn't protect themselves. Whether it be fine-tuning his skills and training or communicating better with other heroes or his team, Shoto sets out to improve every day. And when time allows it, he wants to travel with his girlfriend and enjoy cold soba. Tragic backstory behind him, bright future ahead. If only it were that easy. It's a drab Tuesday morning, a cloudy gray to dampen anyone's mood. Shoto feels pressure like a stack of sand weights sitting on the left side of his face, from the hinge of his jaw, over the temple, brow, and forehead, accompanied by a half-hearted throb every 6 to 10 seconds. He took 2 pills for it when he woke up at 2 a.m. Then he chewed over the ramifications, personal, professional, and those related to national security, of the anonymous troll who had helped themselves to the classified communications that passed through his agency and stuck their nose in Shoto's private life to make sure they knew he did it, and stayed up the rest of the night. Now, due to the subsequent cybersecurity overhaul, he is locked outside of his agency with his PR manager, who takes the opportunity to inform him that in a poll conducted by fashion and gossip magazine Heroes Hotline, Shoto won a landslide 96% of the votes for hottest man alive. Like last year and the year before, Heroes Hotline has requested a photo shoot and an interview. When Shoto's reply is an audible exhalation and to check his phone for when IT is going to let them in the building, the PR manager says, "I suppose I'll tell them we've got too much going on." The uninitiated may be confounded by the idea that certain heroes effectively respond to national security threats and also have swarms of fans who write poetry about their eyes. The two are not mutually exclusive. It does, however, force Shoto into a delicate balancing act. Another few seconds pass before Shoto catches himself off in his own thoughts, ignoring the person beside him. "Thank you," Shoto says, a beat late. "I'd consider under different circumstances." Another breath. The back door beeps out the notes of a major chord. A woman holding a tablet to her chest pushes it open from the inside, bowing as she waves them in. "Shoto, sir, I apologize for the wait. You arrived just as we were restarting the system on the locks. Oh, Mr. Osaki, you were out here too? Oh, good morning." She bows again, congenially, to both. Shoto doesn't remember her name, though apparently she's gotten to know his other employees. She's been here every other day for 2 weeks, along with the others he's hired from an IT contractor, who have been added on top of the permanent IT department. They've set up in what used to be the conference room. "So we'll have the key card and the PIN number you've been talking about?" Osaki asks. "Plus a confirmation code that goes to your cell phone. All 3 inputs will be encrypted and processed through independent computers that will confer within seconds that all steps are completed correctly, and only then will you be able to open the door." The words smartly bounce off the woman's tongue. "Right." The PR manager gives her a nod and looks back to Shoto. "Shoto, why don't you think about the hotline some more? We've got a day or 2 to respond, yes?" Osaki heads in without giving Shoto a chance to say no. "Please, go ahead. I'll be working on the locks," the woman says, waving Shoto along. "Not even a technopath will be able to get inside." The left side of Shoto's head gives a stronger throb. As he learned over the past 3 weeks, security systems that require technopaths to impossibly split their consciousnesses are the only way to keep them out. But what about the employees? Would the accountants, sidekicks, and PR staff be getting into the building? Shoto leaves the woman programming the door and heads for the conference room. Locks are not the problem. It is a necessary patch, but not the real problem. In an emergency, Shoto could burn through the wiring or crush the door with the force of a glacier, and supposing he had neither of those skills, a big enough rock would break a window. Villains typically do not attempt this on a major hero agency because they'd be caught in seconds. The troll who's been harassing him for the past few weeks can only do so because no one knows who they are. Shoto passes the accountants, who try looking busy despite the fact that the new security has locked down all of the computers. He passes the display of sample merchandise. Who knows how many keychains, badges, and dolls will sell if everything blows up. Another contractor employee steps by Shoto outside the conference room, staring past him as if he isn't there. He turns into the break room with a mutter under his breath. Gonna get him, gonna get him, gonna get him. From the conference room table busy with laptops, sticky notes, and coffee cups, the team leader speaks before Shoto asks. Jin was up all night working out the bug on your phone. We've gone through the history, and it was a one-way message. They weren't downloading anything from you or turning on microphones or cameras. We're finishing up the patch now. Otherwise, we're still waiting on international warrants, but we think we'll have access to the cloud account we're looking at by Friday. And then? Shoto asks. And then we have more evidence and keep looking. With the amount of racket this person is making, they'll make a mistake somewhere down the line. What did they send out last night? The team leader checks his notes and raises his brow. Your girlfriend is leaving you because she's pregnant from a drunken one-night stand with a stranger? Yes, that's the one, Shoto says flatly. As ridiculous as it had been to read, Shoto hadn't found it remotely funny. It's more likely she'll dump him for her PhD program. Well, we're still looking. With that, Shoto's role here is done. Nothing is solved. A waiting game lies ahead. He stays for a moment longer than necessary, frustration gluing him to the spot. The truth is, much worse things happened in the world, and Shoto became a hero to do something about it. And now, as much as it's driving him mad, he doesn't have the skills to do much of anything about this. Go Catch a Goose 11.1 Tsuyu's Unread Messages. From Ochiko Uraraka. Tsuyu, he wants to go on a date today. I can't believe everything is happening all at once. My coworkers are so freaking nosy they won't shut up. I'm gonna see if Gunhead will let me off early since I worked Wednesday last week. I got off. What do you think of the yellow dress? Cute enough for a first date? Or am I trying too hard? Image attached. Scratch that. Deku just said to wear walking shoes. I've been such a bum wearing sweats at home, I don't know if I have anything cute that matches sneakers. How's this? Deku likes red. Image attached. Image attached. Image attached. Sorry for all the messages when you're offshore and you can't even read them. I could probably ask someone else for fashion support, but there's no way I'm telling anyone about Deku yet because anyone I can think of will freak out. Anyways, it'll probably be fine. Not like I'm going to meet some stranger. Thank you for always listening to me. You're the best friend ever. From Izuku Midoriya. Tsuyu, would you get service? Is there a time when I could call you to exchange information? I know it's private and you might not be able to tell me much, but Ochiko said she told you basically everything that's going on and that you're the only person who knows. How is she reacting to being pregnant? Did she tell you anything about her plans for the baby or about continuing hero work? I've been texting her all day and she's still avoiding the topic, so I figured it's a sensitive issue and she needs more time before she's ready to talk. In the meantime, any additional information would be greatly appreciated.